At Pro Business Solutions, we help our clients through the process of preparing their business plans when seeking financing for their business ideas. We help you to analyze the market, prepare a SWOT analysis, identify business goals, and prepare financial projections. Our consultants are knowledgeable, patient, and confidential. For more information, contact us at 869-663-5005 or send us an email at probusinesssolutionskn@gmail.com to set up an appointment to discuss your business ideas. Pro Business Solutions, your business, our passion. Good day, folks. Welcome to our first episode of Carib Gems, straight out of St. Kitts, West Indies. We will be interviewing entrepreneurs and different successful people from various sectors, various fields. And today we have a special guest with us. He was chosen as the first guest for specific reasons. He was described to me as the gold standard of tour operators in St. Kitts. Mr. Troy Hendrickson, Troy Spuddy Hendrickson, my apologies. Good day, Mr. Spuddy.
Good day, brother. How are you doing, man?
Good. How are you today?
I'm fine. Thanks for selecting me.
And thanks for stopping by. I know you're
Pleasure to be here, man.
I know you're very busy.
I always try to make the time. Always try to make the time.
All right, nice. So for those who don't know you, could you describe yourself, where you come from, your upbringing as a child, or just for a little background?
But first and foremost, I am born Kittitian in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I hail from the tiny village called Fry's Village. Not Freeman's Village, but Fry's Village. We are just in between what is now the Mormon Church and the Bypass Road and Greenlands and Camp Springfield. Just one road, maybe about 30 people live up there right now, and that's where I come from. I started off my schooling at the Salvation Army, right across here. Yeah.
Salvation Army?
Yeah, Salvation Army School. Then I went to Roman School, as it was then called, and from Roman School I went to the then Convent School, and Convent into Sixth Form, as it was then called. Them days we used to wear grey and white. You know
grey and white?
Yeah, and then after that I started working with TDC Airlines in the airport.
TDC Airlines, okay.
Yeah, I worked there for a number of years, and then I was transferred to the downtown office right here on 4th Street. And I started off with ticketing, learning how to, create tickets to get people all across the world. And one day, the manager of a company, TDC, a newly formed called TDC Tours, a lady called Jackie Lewis, she asked me to hold on for her. She wanted to leave to go someplace for a short while, and started looking through what she was doing, and then I found my passion almost immediately. I learned to script, how to write tours over time, visiting all the time, and then after about maybe 8 months, she decided that she was giving up the job, and then I was put as the interim manager for TDC Tours.
TDC Tours, okay.
It was kind of funny, and then I kind of went from there, and then the Marriott was under construction, and we were given the task of handling many of the inbound tour operators who were trying to find information on St. Kitts, so we were handling them. They were staying at the OTI, and it was back and forth. And then thereafter, Marriott opened, TDC Tours began to blossom. We were doing the 4-season contract to move the guests to and from the airport. So, and then we got into tours with the cruise ships and all of that. So TDC is a very important part of my foundation. I would like to tell people I went to TDCU.
TDC,
I mean TDC University.
Okay, that's good. That's a good backdrop.
Yeah, so I was with TDC until 2004, and then we agreed to go separate ways, which is me and TDC. And
okay, stick a pin 1 second. That agreement to go separate ways, did it come as a result of you already pursuing your passion to do your own tours?
Well, how should I put it? Let me put it, ambition is a privilege.
Yeah.
I won't fault TDC for their decision to say, well, based on what we foresee for us and foresee for you, it would be best for us to go separate ways. So I won't bash them for that at all. I actually thank them for that. So I was terminated from TDC, and then I decided to pursue my own goals, and I started a company called Caribbean Journey Masters, which is a tour company. We handle cruise ships in terms of the tours that are available that we sell. So I started that. That was started in 2005. We started off doing some destination management services, and for those who may not know what destination management services is, it is where we would send bids or tenders out to these groups across the world, corporate America, Europe, wherever, and they want to bring, say for example, maybe the top 100 salespeople and their spouses to a destination where they can get everything all inclusive, which would range from transfers on arrival, different programs, diner rounds, meaning they're going to different restaurants, bars, etc., tours and other services, representational services at a tour desk inside the host hotel, all of that. So you do that for, you may do it for 5-6 days on end. It's a lot of work. So that's what I started with.
You started doing. And that's at Caribbean Journey Masters.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So TDC, the information you got from TDC in terms of booking different tours and pricing, that's where you learn basically the business model behind organizing tours.
I had good people like, I was fortunate to have people like a gentleman called L.Y. Lewis, they call him Scout. He was the then general manager of TDC Airlines. I had people like Vincent Gums, who is now the general manager at TDC Automotive. I had people like Raphael Dow, who has gone on to be, I think he's the airport manager in St. Martin, if not there, people like Ashley Allers. These are people who I work with, and was able to, I guess, create my own self, my own person out of working with them, if you understand what I'm saying. So I started doing my own thing and building, and then the opportunity came to pick up a couple of cruise ship contracts, which we did. The first cruise company we worked with.
How did you get those contracts? Did you call, email?
Well, lots of calls, lots of email, and in those days email was very primitive.
Okay.
It was not, it was a type of communication. Remember we talked in 2004-05, a type of communication that a lot of people did not understand. The internet was not as big as at your hand as it is now. You still had a cell phone, which was a cell phone. It was not a computer as it is that did everything for you and had everything. So you would still have to get back to a desktop, a PC, whatever. Okay. Very few people had laptops in them days. It was almost like the elites had it, kind of thing. Okay. And I just did my thing. I spent a lot of time up late at night, because my thing was, especially when I started, that if my team is one person strong, which is me, and the companies I am working against are 20, 30 people strong, I got to get up 3 o'clock in the morning and send that email, so that my email is the first one the people see in the morning.
Okay, sure.
And then I learned a skill that oftentimes when you receive an email, it's not so much to provide the correct answer. It is to provide a response to let them know that what they've sent is received and you're researching it.
Okay.
Rather than you don't have the answer, so you're waiting 2-3 days before you respond to the email. Email is about rapid response.
Sure.
So
Okay. As one of the leading tour companies in St. Kitts, how has the pandemic affected your business?
Well, to be honest with you, I am humbled when you say leading. I don't see myself as that. I see what we do as a necessary part of building St. Kitts and Nevis, because we do a lot of tours on St. Kitts and a lot on Nevis as well. So I would say the pandemic for sure, without a doubt, where let's say my business was 80% cruise ships, 20% hotels.
Yeah.
The pandemic, no cruise ships.
No cruise ships.
I mean, a lot we were able to do. It's more difficult now. I mean, obviously, no money is making, and my model was to try to own as much assets as possible, so that obviously you can control the nature of what you do, and you can control the nature of the experience of the visitor who's coming to St. Kitts. For example, and why I say that, if you want to provide a particular service to a customer, you want to offer a gold standard service, and the persons are late. If you don't own that particular vehicle, the customer, the person who provides the service, you would say, boy, I can take another job until you call me. But I preferred to have my driver sit and wait until the person came, because you know, we want to offer that standard that is not a rush.
Okay.
You know.
Well, in the beginning, I described you as, you know, the gold standard of tour operators, because during my training session as a taxi driver, one of the presenters, Miss Marshall, who works at tourism, she described, she told us that if she was going into the business, the one person that she would, you know, try to emulate and look up to, and who we should look up to, is Spuddy. That's what she told us.
Again, I'm humble.
So, you know, you could be modest in saying that you don't see yourself as the leader, but she was describing the fact that, you know, you deal with more organized tours, and you know, she would not have really be going down to Port Zante to solicit jobs and be in the sun to hustle. So she saw your business model as the gold standard, and I took notes and I said, you know, I want to be like Spuddy.
Well, to be very honest with you, people are created differently. We are differently orientated, in the sense that some guys are comfortable with going down there, and I call it backing. They're gonna back for an hour and a half, and then they get a job. I find that to be really tiring. So I preferred from the get-go to be able to go to the cruise lines, and it meant traveling to Florida and different trade shows to solicit their business. Now, it is, anybody could do it. It's expensive, but you know, we would travel, and I say we because I have partners that are involved as well, and we would travel. We go to Florida, we go to Puerto Rico. We've gone all over the world to get the attention of the cruise lines to say, I mean, we have a particular tour, let's say for example we're doing a panoramic tour, we research it, we time it, we think it is of a good quality, good standard, people would enjoy it, and it's a good exchange of service for money. Because that's what it's about. Value for money. And we want them to buy it. So, you know, we go out, we make videos, we do interviews with the people who take the tour from us. So usually a tour starts off where we are just doing it on a small scale, and then if we are able to convince the cruise lines to buy it, they see value in it, then we get it on board. And now instead of moving 10 people, you could move 50, 60, 100, you know, maybe more, 2 departures a day. And obviously, you know, it's with the cruise line, so you get it on board the ship, and then you don't necessarily have to rush down the dock. I know the tour is 9:30, so we'll show up at 9 o'clock, you know what I mean, and we get it done.
You could remember the first tour that you ever did personally? Your first tour?
By my first tour that I ever did came by error.
By error?
Came by error. I was working at TDC, and we had an overflow of guests arriving from 4 seasons. So obviously I was a manager, so I had a TDC vehicle. And we had like an additional 2 people, and my drivers were taught to give what we call a 10-minute tour, which was from the airport down to Port Zante, where they'd get on the boat, you know what I mean, and then they go across the Nevis. So I ended up with these 2 people. I was like, oh wow, here we go. So, you know, I started doing the tour, and the people felt, in my opinion, comfortable with me. And then I was like, I could do this. And then, you know, you got more confident. By the time I had branched off from TDC tours and started Caribbean Journey Masters, I was really up there. And touring is a particular skill it's like a candle burning continuously. You can't let the candle out.
True.
You can't overtalk. You got to pay attention
Yes,
to
the
what the
guests
customer wants to hear.
yeah.
I'll tell you a secret about touring as well. After about the first 5 minutes, the customer you have behind you will quickly know if you are knowledgeable or if you're not.
True.
And the nature of their questions will change accordingly.
That's true. I've experienced that.
Yeah, if they find you to be, and with all due respect, if they find you to be shallow or without depth, they won't ask you any real
questions.
You know? But if they, you'd find that they get comfortable, you see how they sit, they may perk up, come closer to you, you may make a stop, and then all of a sudden, the one person wants to sit in front with you because now they're more comfortable. Obviously, we can't do that because we have the dividers in the vehicle because of COVID and all of that. But COVID now, in a new era, will teach us to become better tour guides, to pay more attention to the job that we have rather than rushing, because the numbers are not going to come back in any large. They're going to come back slowly, so you're going to have to make the tour that you get last.
Okay. Yeah, I remember my first tour. My friend, Raphael Jacobs, he gave me one of his jobs, and it was a job from Marriott to Kittitian Hill.
It's a long one.
Yeah, we call that end-to-end. Me and him do joke and call that end-to-end, you know? And I was frightened, being honest. I was scared, but I just tell myself, just speak normal, talk, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
And by the time we reached Sandy Point and I took them off the normal route, took them down Pump Bay, showed them the sunset, the views, one of the gentlemen, he said, Shane, this is your learning. Raphael told us you're learning, but have you been doing this for a long time? And that gave me
the confidence.
Some confidence to say, okay, well, I'm making a difference. I'm doing something. And that was my first tour.
Well, this was the first one, and then once you get the first one, the second
I was really
becomes
scared.
easier. But yet we shouldn't take the customers for granted, because they're all different. They all come from different walks of life and different levels of expectation. There's no two tour alike. They may be similar, but they're not alike.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
With Vibes Beach Bar, that you incorporated Vibes Beach Bar into your tours. Was it strategic where you said, okay, this bar is up for sale, I'm doing tours, this could be an all-inclusive package where I show the guests around the island, and then at the end of the tour I could bring them to...
Well, prior to owning Vibes, we were doing tours. And we started off with Reggae Beach. We were carrying people down there. We started off with Turtle Beach. Then the owners moved to Reggae Beach. So we were at Turtle Beach. Then we were at Reggae Beach, and we did a little short stint with Spice Mill. And then we went to Timothy Beach. And what we found is, truthfully, each of them had their own reason for why they ran the business. And why they ran the business didn't really serve our purpose.
Gotcha.
So I kind of got into the whole Vibes deal a little late. It was almost like somebody already had bought it. And because I went and I presented what I wanted to do to the owner, he said, "Boy, I like this," and I could see what this is going to become. So whatever he did, we were told yes. We could get it, and we pursued it. We got it, and it took me a full cruise ship season to change all the tours that we had. So imagine now we had a beach bar, and we still were sending people to different locations. And then over time, the cruise managers, the directors came to St. Kitts, and we showed them. So we had like a dress rehearsal with we showed them, and then they were convinced. To be honest, 2020 was to be our breakout season. That was to be the biggest season ever. But give God thanks, we have health. And we've endured what COVID has put forward, but we have health, so we're still going forward.
True.
And so my thinking or my reasoning for wanting to have a place like Vibes was not necessarily around in nightlife.
No, okay.
It was more around what we are going to create for the customers during the daytime experience.
Okay.
Because, I mean, basically when we arrived in Frigate Bay, me and my team arrived in Frigate Bay to manage Vibes. Frigate Bay had no day life. All the bars in Frigate Bay used to be closed during the day. Everyone, they would open at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, so they were more catering to the nightlife.
So what we did now, when we came in, we started pushing, using the internet, taking pictures, going down to the dock, distributing flyers. We had like a sort of, and we had to push the Frigate Bay strip.
Okay.
Obviously, we pushed the strip on one side of the flyer, and on the other side had Vibes. And then we started pushing it, and then we would have had a couple of meetings with the taxi drivers to get them
to come.
You know, they figure by Vibes by down their clothes, and then they would. We get a lot of licks for that too, because a lot of them would say down their clothes, and then people started realizing that we were open, and then we started seeing a change where people were coming into the beach, and not just to Vibes, but to the strip.
To the strip, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. One thing I realized with other taxi men, you know, just coming into the business, I realized that they prefer to go to Reggae Beach with the guests because it's a bigger fee.
Yeah.
But some other taxi drivers, they still prefer to go to Frigate Bay because they figured, well, it could take me 5 minutes to just go to Frigate Bay, drop off some guests and come back to the pier and get back.
But businesses are run differently, eh?
Yeah.
Some guys are good with the one job. They try to get one job, and it has a lot to do with the size of the vehicle. So if I have a 14-seater bus and I could carry 14 people and I could get $14, I think, round trip, $15 round trip, me ain't coming back, I can just cool out. But if I am more of a hustler and I think I could drop off my first job at $6 round trip into Frigate Bay, I would drop them off, come back, set them at a time so I could just hustle to and fro.
Yeah.
So it came off different. It forced us to offer the taxi drivers specials, like we would do like a $5 lunch, $5 US lunch for the taxi drivers, which they appreciated, and they would.
I've benefited from that many times.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it worked, and we started to see spill over, not just from us, onto the other bars. So I used to go sometimes to the other bars and say, "Boy, we got 5 shipping port today. You can't open 3 o'clock." You convince them to open, and we're gonna do it, and then they do it, and then they make some money, and then they say, well, I could really put some effort into it. You know what I mean?
That, not to cut you off, but that's real commendable of you, because everybody thinks different. Somebody else might have decided, hey, look, okay, we had 4 ships, 5 ships in today. And normally I'm the only bar that open here. I ain't telling nobody nothing. I want the 1,000 people to come by my bar, but
well, guess what I know? How I think. If my bar could carry 50 people, it's only 50 I go so.
True that.
And then other people who have other connections for people who may come, may say, I went there and the service was deplorable because we were at the 50, I couldn't serve anybody else. So my thing was, let me get my 50, let somebody get a 50, and then we all be happy. So then we could raise the profile of the Frigate Bay Strip. Not necessarily Vibes or any other separate entity, but the entire Frigate Bay Strip.
Collaboration over competition.
Of course.
You have a boat as well, a vessel.
Yeah.
Daddy's Girl. What influenced that name, Daddy's Girl? What's the meaning behind that name?
You make me smile when you say that name. I have 2 sons, and I have no girl, so she's Daddy's girl.
So that's your daughter, that's Daddy's Girl.
Daddy's Girl.
Okay, I like that. You mentioned you have 2 sons. Now, with all that you do, I know you're a very busy man. How are you able to balance work and family life, making sure that you get things done, but you still get time with your sons? Sometimes I battle with that. So
I fight with that all the time, and I'm going to be honest. And say, oftentimes they don't get balance.
Okay.
But my hope is that they understand that my investment in what I do is an investment for them.
That's a very honest answer too. That's a very honest answer.
You know what I mean? My oldest son is 17. I don't even know we get to be 17. I mean, he dear, you know what I mean? He's a big man now, you know what I mean? And my youngest is 11. My youngest is more talkative, you know what I mean? And he always like, but Daddy, Daddy, you doing it, you know what I mean? But as I would say to them, we don't get right. Don't worry yourself, we don't get right.
True,
yeah.
true.
But I could do better, and I want to, you know what I mean? I want to, because a lot of times, sometimes, it's not always about going out there, So I would say to anybody, you almost have to segment the time.
Yes.
I'm going to work from X time to X time, and then I got to do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's important.
I used to say that, that I won't take any jobs on a Sunday. I'm not working on a Sunday. Sunday is for my son. But then I realized the reality of that is, you got to be flexible, because
you got to be flexible, and the little opportunities to spend time with them, you have to. You know what I mean? As you know, the saying that it take a village to raise a child. I don't think you really want the village to raise a child. You want to raise a child yourself.
That's true.
You want to be part and parcel of them becoming an adult.
Other than Vibes Beach Bar, where are some other spots on the island that you like to go and relax and enjoy yourself, have a good time? give me three spots that you like to go and enjoy yourself.
I appreciate that you asked me that. When Salt Plage was open, I enjoy going to Salt Plage. Yeah. More recently, I enjoy going to Shipwreck. I like Shipwreck because it's just shipwreck. It is what it is, and I've not gone in a while, but I also enjoy going down to Michael's Bar down at Black Rocks.
Okay, Michael.
Yeah, I like Michael because me and Michael go way back. You know what I mean? We connected a long time ago, and we're not even buddy pals, but we are really good friends. Like when I catch up with them, you know what I mean? But these are three spots that all vary, and they are very, very, very different, but I really enjoy those three places.
Okay, that's nice. Back to tour operators. Mm-hmm. As taxi drivers and tour operators, what do you think we can do collectively, as a group, as a body, as one, to add more value to the tourism product in St. Kitts going forward? What do you think? We as tour operators, what do you think we can do together?
First and foremost, the taxi drivers are very, very important to the product.
Yes.
They are the beginning, the middle, and the end. I'll tell you what I mean by that. Let's say a tour is sold locally for, let's say, an island tour, Bastia, Carib, Batik, Brimstone Hill. Let's say it is sold for $32. Let's say I package it. I pass it on to the cruise line. The cruise line sells it for, say, $60. Mm-hmm. The taxi driver has to carry the weight of the $60. Because he's the one that is actually going to do the work.
Yeah.
He has to carry his cost. He has to carry my fee, which he has to carry that of Brimstone Hill. He has to carry that of Carib Batik. So, what I would love to see more taxi drivers do as a group is to recognize their true value, in the sense that if you check with the Tourism Authority, they'll tell you about 400 taxi drivers on the island. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you take an asset, a bus, at the lowest cost, say $50,000, and you multiply that by 400, and then you multiply that by the insurance. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. A lot of money is being spent, but it's being spent as individuals, and it's not being recognized as a group. Yeah. So I think if they are able to recognize their true value as a group, they'd better be able to do things. In the old days, when I first got involved in tourism, the taxi drivers, I can't remember which association, but they always spoke about a piece of land that they had, to me, up in the Buckley's area. It seemed to be more in the area of the funeral home and where Rams is now. Okay. Somewhere in that region. And they were always going to build a gas station. I think, for example, I'm not sure if they own that land still. Okay. But I would like to see taxi drivers have an asset like that, where, for example, they can go to a particular gas station and get gas at a cheaper price.
Okay.
And they could continue to build and invest.
Okay.
Now, when the taxi driver becomes old, what happens to him? Nothing. He has no more money. He can't work anymore. He's
no pension plan.
No pension plan. He's casted out, if you see what I'm saying. An old lion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would like to see them be able to put something aside, even if they created it themselves. I think taxi drivers are powerful enough to even create their own credit union.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a very good idea.
So there is something for tomorrow.
One experience I had personally, just coming into the game, there was a meeting at the Marriott with the taxi drivers and some executives from about 4 of the leading cruise liners. That's when the pier had just finished. Mm-hmm. And it was basically one of the first meetings I went to. I said, let me go and hear what would be said. And to be quite frank and honest, Spuddy, I was very disappointed that us, in myself included, us as tour operators and taxi drivers, we had nothing of substance to put to the executives to add in, trying to give them ideas or sending a proposal to show, hey, look, okay, just for example, we realize that your ships, they normally leave at about 4:30, 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Is there by any chance, what do we have to do here in St. Kitts to have these cruise ships stay a little longer, maybe a little longer into the night, mm-hmm. and that would, so spill over to the nightlife.
Restaurant business,
different bars. And basically, the taxi drivers, we just went in there to abuse the minister and the tourism authority, and I was disappointed because I thought, hey, it's not often, and one of the tourism authority workers even mentioned it, like, hey, it's not often we get these executives coming here to us and willing to have a sit down with us. Most of the times you have to go to a trade show, like you explained, to meet them and spend a lot of money.
And when you go in there, they tell you, Mr. Hendrickson, you have 5 minutes. Because I got another 100 people waiting.
Yeah, so that was a disappointing experience for me.
You see, the thing is, in our culture, we don't really, and Angelics for this, but we don't dig deep enough. Mm-hmm. We like to skim the surface, and as soon as you skim the surface, everybody run with one on the surface. Yeah. But if you don't take a little time and look down, you see how deep it is, and that's where you're supposed to really put your hand to establish, your real root and you come to your true bloom, your true full potential.
Yeah, that's so true. Quick question. Well, a little segue. When doing business plans, we have something that we do call a SWOT analysis. At Pro Business Solutions, we help our clients through the process of preparing their business plans when seeking financing for their business ideas. We help you to analyze the market, prepare a SWOT analysis, identify business goals, and prepare financial projections. Our consultants are knowledgeable, patient, and confidential. For more information, contact us at 869-663-5005 or send us an email at probusinesssolutionskn@gmail.com to set up an appointment to discuss your business ideas. Pro Business Solutions, your business, our passion. Mm-hmm. You describe your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in the market. What would you say are some of your personal strengths and some of your, to say weakness, but areas that you could improve on, maybe as a businessman and as a person? We'll start with your strengths first. What you think you're good at, you're most good at?
Well, I would say a strength would be the fact that I consider myself to be a direct person, in the sense that if I am to meet with you, I will take time to research you. Mm-hmm. So I will know that a handshake offends you based on your culture, your background. So I pride myself on taking time to understand the backward and forward linkages that make an individual what they are.
Okay.
If you see what I'm saying.
True.
A weakness for me is, again, the same strength, that I am a direct person, so I'm going to always tell you how I feel.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So some people say, sometimes, you know, you should just
tone it
be
down.
a little quiet. In the business world, I would say we live in St. Kitts, which is but a small pie in the big thing. We are blessed with the fact that you truly know the people who are in the banking system, and I think we ought to take better advantage of it as a strength.
Well, another thing that I would say I admire about you, I like to give people the flowers while they could smell them. That there would be certain times I would come to the strip, come to your bar, and it would be very busy. And it's not always that you will see the owner of the bar behind the bar hustling, busting a sweat, serving drinks on your face. Tell me, what does that do anything to your employees? Does it intimidate them, or does it encourage them to work even harder? What's your experience when you put a more hands-on approach to the job? Because a lot of people, they're not comfortable working close with their boss. They rather not see you. But a lot of times I see you in action.
I often tell them, look, I'm not the boss. Yeah. I am chief cook and bottle washer. You know what I mean? So if you see me doing my thing, it's because I want it done a particular way, and I am here to support you. I'm not here to ridicule you. I'm here to support you. It was just the other day, one of my chefs had a deep conversation, and she was saying to me, you know, like, she rate me, you know what I mean? Okay. She made me feel like $1 million. Right?
That's good.
She say, you know, like,
you're good people,
because you will come in and you will say, what you want me to do? And she's the boss. I let her be the boss. What you want me to do? Okay, I want to do some fries, I want this, I want that. And I just do it. Now, the kind of person I am, to be honest, the person I know myself to be, I can stand up and watch you do it.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah.
But if you need help,
yeah,
I got to help you. You know what I mean? It's like today, I mean, you know, today I showed up to work and, well, no bartender, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna get upset.
I realized you were working the bar today.
Yeah. So I called one of my supervisors and I said to her, hey, how to work this blender here? She said, well, let me go video call. So I said, cool. So we went video call, bam. And, you know, she showed me what to do. I set up the blender and I said, girl, watch, I know about 20 spoons in there. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Yeah, so truthfully, I enjoy it. Yeah. I enjoy being hands-on, and I'm not the kind of person that stands off and watch you do it. Me know how to be that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just get run to. I don't get run to. Like, man, go sit down, no, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't mind doing that. I appreciate it and like it, and I don't try to intimidate, even though one or two persons may think like the boss is showing us that nobody is indispensable. You know what I mean? But that's not really my fault. My thing is to try to keep the customer service high, and the customer satisfaction is important. I believe satisfied customer is going to tell more customers.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And then, you know, we go from there.
Nice. What advice would you give young entrepreneurs just starting on their journey, or someone who is thinking about taking the step of going into business?
I take a big breath because I've done a few presentations to would-be entrepreneurs, and usually what I say would turn off the people who invite me. You know, they want me to sing. They want me to sing and say entrepreneurship is for everybody.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth, it is not. Some of us need to work for people.
True.
But at the same time, we must acknowledge that all of us are not created to be entrepreneurs. But if you have that calling, it will haunt you. It can get you up 3 o'clock in the morning. You're going to be doing something, and then it's going to be in your head. Let your desire to be an entrepreneur become an obsession. It is only when it becomes an obsession. It is when you come and you ask a particular individual to critique an idea for you, and they tell you, come back Saturday 10 o'clock. you must show up Saturday 9:59. You got to be there.
Yeah.
You can't say, but I forget, then you're not obsessed enough.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And there's no stupid idea. Because some of the simplest thing, look, when I used to work in the airport, an entrepreneur, I'm not going to call his name, but I'll call the name of his business, Island Purified Water. We used to laugh. I was working in the airport. He lived in Tortola. Good night, sir. He lived in Tortola, and this man used to come from Tortola and he bring these plastic bottles. We used to like, anybody used to anything, anybody can buy any water in any bottle, but we got pipe water.
Yeah.
And here we are today. The man has revolutionized the water business. Of course, he benefits from it.
Yeah.
He sponsors a lot of different events. He gives it away.
Yeah.
And he has not lost his humbleness. Well, in my opinion, others may say different, right? He has not lost his humbleness. So when you have a bottle of Island Purified Water, you feel like, but this is me. This is me. This could be me. But I could tell you, I saw it in the beginning when it was nothing.
Okay, yeah.
He had what is called a blow mold machine. A blow mold machine is what actually creates the bottles. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He used to buy them, I think, in Puerto Rico, put them on layout, ship them up, and then he would come from Tortola, and then he probably bottled them however he was doing it. And you see him saying, what, 30 years or 25 years anniversary?
Yeah.
He's been at it that long. You know what I mean? So I would say to the would-be entrepreneur, test your idea out on your friends. When they don't like it, don't be discouraged. It's an opportunity for you to, maybe let's say you're making sugar cake. And everybody makes sugar cake just plain. Maybe you need to make one with nuts. Maybe you need to be different colors. Maybe you need to be smaller. Maybe you need to be square. You see what I'm saying? I was watching something the other night. Some people were growing square watermelons. Now I don't get excited about watermelon, but the main fact that it's square.
Yeah.
Square? Let me buy one of them there. You know what I mean? You just buy it because it's square. You ain't really buy it because you like watermelon, but it's square, it looks different. What it is, they got them in a box. You know what I mean? And as it gets bigger, the shape of the box, the watermelon takes the shape of the box. And that it is. It's different packaging, you know what I mean? So I would say, let your desire become an obsession, and you can go from there, be willing to tweak it. Remember, your idea might be an idea that only you know. Everybody doesn't know your idea.
True.
You have to get them to buy into it. See one young lady, the queen of Rizzlers.
Yes. Okay. I don't know who's making it, but I've tried it. It's nice product. And we headed into that direction when it comes to the law.
As I just say, it drives well.
Yeah, it
drives well.
It drives well. Yeah.
So she had an idea, and she tweaked it. She's consistent with it, and here she is now. She's getting it sold. I mean, we're selling a bit of them. Other people are carrying them as well.
How's it selling by the bar?
It's selling very well, actually.
Selling very well. That's good.
It's selling very well. I mean, you know, I can't say we have a problem with it. The customers enjoy it, and it's about customers' delight.
True.
You know what I mean? Customers' delight is what we crave. So that's a product that is just going.
Okay. Well, I would like you to leave one last gem with our viewers and our listeners, and I want you to break down for me going after the root instead of the fruit. One last gem. Break down that for me.
Well, before I say that, let me say thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, man, no problem. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Everybody gets excited because the food is the colorful part. It's the part everybody wants to eat. It's the part they're seeing, you know what I mean? See, you know, they got the food, you know what I mean? But nobody knows what it takes from the root to produce the food. So they run with the fruit and they leave the root behind. But I want the root.
Okay.
Because without the root, you can't produce the fruit. It can take you some time.
True.
Because in modern times, not everything got in seed. to get your own root.
Oh boy, and I don't like to pick up fruits that don't got no seeds.
I don't think food.
That's a no.
I don't think
that's a
food,
no-no.
I don't think
that's
foods,
a no-no for me.
I don't think foods that don't have seeds should be eaten.
Exactly. Yeah.
Shouldn't be eaten.
One time I picked up some at the supermarket, and when I got home and I started eating, I was so upset.
Yeah.
I thought I was eating some chemical
Exactly.
I ordered from online.
Exactly. So you know, if you pay very special attention, if you slow down the process, and you are able to digest that the fruit comes from the root, you would clearly understand that it is important that everybody should start their own root.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, you should work your way. No, it's not always that what you start is what you end up with. But there are partnerships, there are synergies that you can all work together. I mean, I may only be good at the finished product. You might be good at creating the product. You may not be good on the front line. You're better on the back line, I'm better in the front, and we're working together.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? We may break down the profit, maybe 50 cents, and we each take 25. But guess what? You was getting 100% and nothing, and I was getting nothing.
That's
we
true.
work together. That's the fruit
true.
and the root. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have to know who is going to do what and when they're going to do it.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Good information.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for joining us.
My
It was
pleasure.
a real honor having you as our first
My pleasure.
episode. As I said earlier, you were chosen specifically because I really wanted to show our viewers that it's okay to start at a job if you have dreams or aspirations of being your own business, you're a business owner. It's okay to start at a job. You could learn stuff from your job that would be beneficial to you in the future, and that would help you to, you know, grow and bloom into a prosperous businessman. Spuddy, once again, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure, man.
And you always have a home here in the future. I look forward to having another interview with
Well,
you.
I will want to come and interview you.
So, yes, there we have it, folks. That was Mr. Troy Spuddy Hendrickson, owner of Caribbean Journey Masters, and I would encourage everyone to visit Vibes Beach Bar now that, you know, curfew is pushed back to what, 1 o'clock?
Yes.
So we have a little more time at the bar. I would advise you.
Wear your mask. Wear your mask.
Yes, wear your mask. Yes, wear your mask, sanitize.
Yeah, all the time.
Yes.
Thank you.
So please remember to please remember to log on to our Facebook page, like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram at Carib_Gems for more exciting interviews with our special guests. And I would like to say thank you again for tuning in, and have a blessed evening, everybody. Thank you.